Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today, I am back in the home state of Central Massachusetts. I still can't say it. Central Massachusetts with Jared Yanis from Guns and Gadgets. Dude, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
I am very excited to have another local guy on the show.
Hidden gems.
I know, right? I think it was really cool. I've had some people with the gungrams. Yep. I've had a couple radio stations post them, and they're like, "This is the most Montana thing ever." I'm like, "Dude, you have no idea." No, I'm in occupied territory.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway, so we have Jared. Jared's with Guns and Gadgets. He's got a great YouTube channel, up to date, on top of new stuff. What's your phrase?
Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon.
No, not that one. not your closing phrase. The one you have on everything.
Your source for Second Amendment news.
There we go. I got to tell you this, man. I am surprised at how on top of stuff you are.
So is my wife.
Like, who does he know that he's getting all this information from?
Well, I've met a lot of people in my career of 22 years in law enforcement where I've kept some of those people close to the vest, and it's paid off.
Very cool.
It's paid off.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about how you got into gun stuff.
Sure.
So, were you, you're a police officer, but were you in the military? Did you take that route?
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that. So the day I graduated high school, I went to my friend's house, and it was a half day, and we watched Full Metal Jacket for the first time.
Oh my God.
And it made such an impression that I, no word of a lie, told him, as soon as the movie was over, I said, "Bring me to the recruiter."
What?
So he drove me downtown. He had a car, I didn't. Drove me downtown Worcester, and it was back when it was, remember the glass building across from, it's now the Federal building, but there used to be the recruiter in there when they had the movie theater and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we went in, and I went to the Marines recruiter, and the sign said, "Out to lunch." So then my next choice was, going to be in the Army. I went over to the Army guy, and he said, "Out to lunch with the Marines." So I left Navy and Air Force. I chose Navy. Went off to Springfield, Maps the next day, and by the end of like 3 days later, I was in Great Lakes, Illinois.
Holy moly, dude!
That was quick.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Be careful the movies you watch, kids.
Yeah, hey, it's inspirational.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How long were you in the Navy?
Just before boot camp graduation, Senior Bush did the Military Downsizing Act.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had asthma, and I don't have it now. But because I had asthma and it was part of the downsizing,
yeah,
they sent me home.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I twisted my knee up preparing for the PT final, and while I was there, they did the med record check. They said you shouldn't even be here. Yeah, so because I had childhood asthma, they gave me an honorable discharge, sent me home, and I became a cop.
Wow. All right. How do we get out of here?
Just keep going down. Take the next right.
146. Yeah. All right.
Well, this goes 146, so I can go up through Vernon.
Yeah, let's go that way because it looks
it's
like
all traffic.
Not moving. So you became a cop.
Yep.
You went to the police academy. How was that?
I went to a couple police academies. I started my career here in Mass. This past April was 22 years.
God bless you.
Went down to New Orleans on what was supposed to be a vacation. We were going down for Jazz Fest.
Cool.
And we showed up on a Sunday night. Long story short, they had the non-resident exam. And by that end of that Friday, I had a job. So we started a career in New Orleans. Was there for 3 years.
Were you married?
No, brought my girlfriend down. We got married down there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was a vacation that I could never get to do anything I planned for the vacation.
Right.
But ended up on the SWAT team. So it wasn't
wow.
bad.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, man. 3 years down there. What brought you back to the Commonwealth?
Family. Wife, her dad was ill, so we came back home, and
Yeah.
and now I'm back in Mass.
Very cool. Cool, man. And you've been a cop for 22 years?
Yep.
Awesome. What do you like to shoot? Do you do IDPA? Do you do IPSC or anything like that?
Don't have any time. I've always been in the instruction side of things, so if I'm not doing patrol or details, then I'm usually teaching in the academies and stuff like that.
Very cool. Do you teach outside?
I was for a while, but now that my second full-time job is blossoming, I don't have time to do anything.
I say blessed with work.
Absolutely.
Blessed with work. You know, we love what we're doing. All right, should we let this lady go, even though she's not really paying attention? Hi, honey. We'll get you on video.
Donna looks very angry.
She's not a happy girl. Her juice box is empty. I think that's what it was. Anyway, so a cop, an instructor. Where can we go with this? Back in the Commonwealth. What made you start to start Guns and Gadgets?
So, I actually started the channel. I got hurt at work and had a shoulder rebuild, so I needed to do something while I was in downtime.
Mm-hmm.
But leading up to that, I'd always been somebody who would stay on top of gun laws. I mean, here in the Commonwealth, you know, they change. When Mara Healy sneezes, they change.
Pretty quickly.
So,
yeah.
I'd always get people calling, hey, can I buy this here? Or hey, can I transfer this there? Or can I make this alteration? So just kind of one day got on and brought up a couple bills that were about to pass nationwide that people didn't know about, because the anti-gunners, they'll tell you how bad everything is and how great it is to restrict firearms.
Right.
But they never tell you when, you know, good guys with guns stop bad things, or how this proposed bill will take away your freedoms and your liberties.
Mm-hmm.
So I put out a couple videos from like that, and it just kind of took off.
Yeah. Were you doing when I hear Guns and Gadgets, I think of a guy that's reviewing gear. Did you start off doing that?
Yeah, I'd mix in holster reviews like every gun guy on YouTube starts out with.
Right.
You know, they have 500 different why this Kydex holster is great and that one isn't. I didn't really. I got 4 kids with autism, so the money isn't a huge bonus in my life. So I couldn't do a lot of gun reviews because I couldn't buy a lot of guns.
Yeah, I see. I see some buddies in Free America that are reviewing things. I'm like, how do they afford all this?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But it's I wasn't lucky enough to get people to send me stuff a lot, so I did what I could afford. And for the couple companies that did help, I try to stay in touch with them and try to kick business back to them if I can anyway. But
cool. All right, we are about to drive through Kelley Square,
yes,
which is one of the craziest, dangerous places to drive in Massachusetts.
In the country.
In the country, right? It's the Five Colonies. They're putting a baseball field here.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Right up here.
Yep.
And it's a zoo already.
Well, did you see the redesign?
Yes, it's going to take what, like, what did it say, 2 years?
2 years overnight. They're going to be working at nights all year long, and they're going to make. I mean, those of us who live here, this is nothing.
This is right.
So now they're going to make it like a peanut.
A peanut-shaped rotary?
Yeah, peanut-shaped rotary.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's see, where should we go? Usually the advice that people have for Kelley Square is to just hit the gas and don't look at anybody.
Yeah, just come in.
Right, which is what we just did. Nice, we'll come back through here. My son called me up a couple months ago. He's like, Dad, I went to Worcester for something with some buddies of mine. He's like, I went through Kelley Square and I didn't even know it. must have been the afternoon.
That's where I learned how to drive.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the first places my dad brought me.
Oh my God, figure if you could do that, you could do anything, right?
Yeah, basically.
Man, that's funny. All right, so you started the channel, doing some gun reviews, not too many. Started doing the political stuff. I got to tell you, I'm impressed at how fast you crank out videos about all the stuff that's going on.
Thank you. It's tough. I mean, as you know, you do videos. A lot goes into it. So for what a lot of people who are watching who don't do the YouTube stuff, to do a video, it takes a lot. You got to plan. I don't really script things. I read the bill. If I have to read the entire bill, I'll read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Make a couple phone calls to people who are in the know if I can, and then take that executive summary and just try to regurgitate as much as I can on how I know it will affect things on our end. So being a cop, I know that certain bills, the way they're written, don't happen that way. They have different repercussions when they're actually enforced. So I try to relay that to people online, and So you do the recording, and then you got to edit it, and then you got to, export it, upload it, do all the metadata. So literally a 4 or 5 minute video takes at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. It really is. But that's okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Somebody out there's got to do it. Might as well be me. Right?
Right. I dig doing it. I think it's a lot of fun. The gun grams I film on my phone, and I probably shouldn't be telling a cop this, but I might start transferring the video, transferring it to the editing software while I'm driving them. But
yeah, I started on an iPhone 4.
I started on a 4S. That's when I made the first video playing a trumpet shooting a gun on a 4S.
Yeah, now I've bought better stuff because you want your product to be
as
good as it can be.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if not, somebody will watch somebody else.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I started with an iPhone 4 and in my basement, and it's blossomed to I have a studio in my home. And
that's awesome.
Trying.
How many cameras do you have? Because you do, I've seen you do some stuff where you're like Facebook Living it and then you're recording it as well.
Yeah. So when I was doing the Facebook Live and I was doing Instagram, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, so I would use my cell phone, the camera that's built into the computer, the FaceTime camera, and then if I was going on a third one, I just use like an iPad.
Oh my God. That's nuts. That's nuts. And then you're like, all right, you're talking to this one, then you go over and talk to this one, then
it's
you start
tough,
talking to this one, you talk to this one, you're bouncing all over the place. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. How has the channel grown for you?
Good. This past year has been huge. Thank you all. If any of you guys watching this, guys and gals are watching this, and you subscribe, I really appreciate it. It's grown a lot. It took as you know, to get to that first 100 subscribers. You think you made it when you hit 100 subscribers, and people still can't even find your stuff. But we just hit 95,000.
That's incredible.
It's been a hell of a year. It's been a great ride.
Wow. I went to go. People. Once you get a certain number of things and views and whatever, and you think people know who you are, and it's not why we do it, of course.
No.
But I went to go film a gun gram at the Worcester Pistol and Rifle Club, and my gun guru John Green was there from the Gun Owners Action. Yeah, I love John. He was there with some people, and I went over just to say hi, and he's like, "You guys seen Charlie's gun grams?" They're like, "A what?" Like, John, you think I'm cool, but
yeah. That just happened to me actually out at the NRA show in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
One of my buddies works for Optics Planet, and he was introducing me to guys, and I was meeting some, what we consider big YouTubers, celebrities in the game, and a couple of them knew me, and then he thought he was on a roll, and he's like, "Hey, you guys," and he went to another table. "Hey, you guys all know Guns and Gadgets?" They were like, "What?"
Thanks, I hate to say it's humbling, but you're like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Hey, carry on.
Now you said you ran into someone at a store as well. So it's weird, like you say, I don't do this for for the public views or the notarization. Yeah. Right.
Notoriety. There we go. It'll come to me. I'm tired. No coffee. So I was at the Apple store in Marlboro a couple weeks ago and had a kid run up to me, and he's like, "Oh, it's you!" And my wife I was standing off. I mean, being a cop, I'm not used to people
approaching
coming up to me for positive things. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan. I watch all your stuff."
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. He took a picture, and I'm still not used to it.
Right.
It's weird. I'm very grateful, and please, if you see me, stop me. If you want to talk, I'd be more than happy to, but it's just weird, when people recognize you for something you do just for fun.
Right. I had, I've been doing the gun grams for a while, and I was at the grocery store, and I told one of the grocery store ladies about this, and just to try to get more eyes on the videos, right? And then 2 weeks later, I was at the same grocery store, and a girl's like, "Hey, you're the guy that plays the trumpet, shoots a gun, right?" I'm like, I'm with my kids. I'm like, "I am. How did you know?" She's like, "Oh, you told me 2 weeks ago." I'm like, "Oh."
The kids are about to say, "That's cool." Oh,
never mind. Oh man. All right, how do you stay on top? I know I hit this, but you like putting stuff out, staying on top of it. There's a lot of stuff that you're not just doing Massachusetts stuff.
No.
I've seen you go through stuff that's happening in Maryland and obviously in California, New Jersey, and New York as well.
Yeah, I try to do, like I said in the beginning, like when we first started, if you're a gun guy and you live in Oklahoma, you'll hear the news happen in Oklahoma because everybody's talking about it. It's in the papers. It could be on the local news.
Right.
But you don't know what's going on in Alaska. You don't know what's going on in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, if we're, those of us who are Second Amendment people, gun guys, if we're gonna beat what's happening to us with the government and how they're trying to take it away from us, then we all have to be on the same team. We all have to know what's going on everywhere. Mm-hmm. We all need to be pulling in the same direction. Otherwise, we're not as powerful as we can be. One voice of all the people is stronger than 200,000 separate voices. So
sure.
So I try to get everybody on the same page, because what happens in California will happen in Massachusetts. What happens in Massachusetts will happen in Ohio. What happens in New York will happen in communist Russia. But if we're not all on the same page, then we don't know that the red flag is steamrolling across the country.
Oh my
so
God,
that's what
absolutely.
I'm trying to do, is get people to watch the videos, and maybe they might not want to watch something, because like if I do an alert for a call to action like Nevada, like I did last night with the red flag, we might not care about that up here in New England, but we should, because those are the states that don't have it will have it.
Oh, absolutely. I went and spoke at an event, a Florida Carry event, mm-hmm. back in February. And one of the things I was telling them, I said, listen, here's the scoop. I live in Massachusetts. It's already occupied territory. We can't open carry. Nobody does, because everyone freaks out.
Right.
The things that they're proposing down here, the assault weapon ban and all this stuff, like we've had this since 1994. Mm-hmm. We already live in occupied territory. This is what's coming your way. And people are going to say, well, what do you need more than 10 rounds for? What do you need a collapsible stock for? What do you need a flash hider
right.
for? And all that stuff is purely cosmetic.
Absolutely. Not just that, it takes away from the true meaning of the Second Amendment, which was to destroy a tyrannical government.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with deer hunting. It has nothing to do with how many rounds will it take to shoot a quail. None of that. None of that is part of the Second Amendment.
Yeah. How many rounds does it take to stop a bad guy?
As many as it takes.
You got it. I like to say when I teach classes that the reason you want to have, especially here in Massachusetts, you want to have a Glock and get a pre-94 high-cap magazine is because bad guys have friends.
Absolutely. Yeah, they don't abide by the laws. That's what makes them criminals.
That too. But they have friends. I remember watching one video. I'm sure you saw this too. It was a black and white video of a woman. I think 3 or 4 guys broke into her house.
Yes.
And she's shooting in the garage. Yep. They're like, holy crap, man.
Yeah, and thank God she had more than a 10-round magazine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. What else? What are some new things that are going on? The red flag stuff is ridiculous.
Red flag's huge. It's a tidal wave. We even have Republicans who have put it in federally. Marco Rubio. He's no friend of anything related to the Second Amendment. He's trying to push it, and that's his version. There's 2 versions. Lindsey Graham is pushing another one.
It seems to me like I hate to talk about politics too much. I just see people as either pro-gun or pro-gun. We have 3 types of people: we have pro-gun, anti-gun, pro-gun, the non-guns, and the anti-gun wacos. But Lindsey Graham used to not be a good guy, and then all of a sudden he does something cool, and everyone likes him, and then he's back to not being cool. You're like, holy moly, man.
Yeah, well, he's got to play to the voting base. It's a game for the politicians. They're not in it for the real reason. But as long as we have people who are supposed to be on our side, quotes, guys and gals, right? It's a dangerous game. So you got not only those 2 versions of the red flag, you got Trump's committee for the schools, when they overlooked all the school safety and stuff. They're recommending states push red flags. The federal government's working on a program right now to basically reward states for putting red flags in. So they're going to pay states off to put it in, which is, that's the biggest end-around game on the Second Amendment. It violates so many of our constitutionally guaranteed rights. Yeah. It's crazy. And I was just actually having a friendly argument with a very high-rated attorney on the state level, saying the same thing. I told her, these red flags are unconstitutional all day long. Unconstitutional. What do you mean? Can you tell me where somebody's due process is recognized?
Right.
Goes, they get to go to court. I'm like, but what happens before that? Like, somebody just calls and I think Charlie's having a bad day. I think he's gonna hurt somebody. You lose your guns. You lose your Second Amendment, and then you don't get a court-appointed attorney. You have to pay $25,000 to prove that that person was lying or made something up or misheard something. That's not due process. That's not how it works.
This is true. All right, is this guy turning?
Yeah, just do it anyway.
I know, right? It is Massachusetts.
Yeah, so we got the red flag, which is huge. Another big one is states are all worried about the round counts now for magazines. Seems to be the cool new thing.
Again, this is ridiculous. Why?
Well, the problem is, I'm not saying everybody has to own a gun. We have the right to, but not everybody has to drive a Prius. We have the right to, but just because I don't want to drive a Prius doesn't mean I want that right taken away.
Absolutely.
It's all tools in the toolbox, and I would never tell a mechanic what tools he should carry to fix my car.
Mm-hmm. You just want your car fixed.
That's it. The same thing goes with the Constitution. I might not use every one of the amendments to my advantage, but if I need it, it's there.
Absolutely. Yeah, more red flag stuff is popping up all over the place.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. And people thought it was just going to be contained to the blue states. But
they're selling it as a way to prevent suicides. And I saw actually this morning, I was reading a study that they're guesstimating in Florida, a red flag would save 1 suicide out of every 10 firearms seized. So the country used to be based off the majority.
Right.
So how do you even come up with those stats? You can't interview a dead person, right?
This is true.
Don't want to sound heartless, but you can't interview a dead person and say, would you have done it if we had a red flag? Would you have not have done it if we see somebody's guns? Professionally speaking, from things that I've seen in my career, if somebody unfortunately has made that decision in their life where they can't deal with it anymore, I mean, they're going to use tools of immediate means. If you take away a firearm, they're going to do whatever they need to do if they're hell-bent on it.
Yeah.
So they're selling it. I don't know if that's open. Is it open still? It was closed for repair in the ceiling. They're selling it as a magic snake oil, and it's just not. But it's their way to trick those who aren't as informed or who don't care because it doesn't bother me, the individual. And that's another problem with this country now. Is a lot of people are more concerned about the individual than the whole.
Yeah, it's nuts. If somebody wants to take their own life, they're going to find a way to take their own life. It seems that they're with the number of people that are doing drugs and accepting doing drugs, and I hate to say normalizing it or whatever. That doesn't seem to be good either.
No,
I mean, there's plenty of people that are hooked on. What are they hooked on? Do you know?
Opioids.
Yes, opioids. That's the word I'm looking for.
Fentanyl's the big one right now.
I'm not a drug guy. I'm not a pro-drug guy.
That's good because I'm driving with it.
I know, right? Like I've never been into smoking pot. Like it was never my thing. I made it through 4 years of high school without doing drugs. I made it through 4 years of college without doing drugs. When I turned 21, then I started drinking more, not less, more. But I've been telling people for a long time about medicinal marijuana. I said I'd be more for medicinal marijuana if I could have medicinal Jack Daniels.
There you go.
Like, I want a flask with a doctor's note engraved on it, and I'm not going to be intoxicated all the time. I just want to take the edge off.
Just a little buzz, yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's cool.
That's all. I just take the edge off. That's all I want to do, right? I think it helps me sleep at night a little better. Mellows the mood a little bit. That's all I want to do. But there's plenty of people, getting back to the topic here, there's plenty of people that are hooked on the opioids, and opioids are killing them, and prescription stuff. I had a back surgery a couple years ago, and I got a whole card full of Oxy, and I stopped taking it before the doctors suggested it. I'm like,
it's tough stuff, man.
I don't want this.
When I had my shoulder rebuilt, I had 2 shoulder surgeries within 2 months. The first one they went in, they fixed the rotator cuff. The second one they went in and had to repair the labrum. And they gave me, I don't know what milligrams they were. They gave me Oxycontin to take for the first couple days.
Yeah.
And literally by the second day, my skin was itchy. Like my body was calling for it. I was showing signs of needing it. So I stopped taking it, and I was only taking Advil. So I went to my next follow-up, and I gave them the pills back, which they won't take back.
Right.
But he was like, "What are you doing? You need that?" I'm like, "No, I don't need that.
No,
I'm good. I have everything I need right here."
Right. what I ended up doing when I was, I spent a week and a half in the hospital and rehab. And rehab, by the way, I thought I'm going to be hanging out with like actresses and rock stars with drugs and sex problems. No, rehab was code for old folks home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they didn't tell me that.
Eat your porridge.
I had no idea. They put me in the back. They put me in the last room in the hall, but there was no one in my room, and there was no one in the rooms next to me. They're like, yeah, the one nurse called Tubby. She's like, you're a walker and talker. You can walk, you can talk. We're not worried about you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. I couldn't get out fast enough, but yeah, I'm like, I don't want to take this stuff. I'll be fine. I'll get up. You need to constantly gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, no, I'll be fine.
Yeah, I try not to go to the doctors at all unless it's absolutely
right, unless
necessary.
something's falling off.
Duct tape and Advil, I'm good to go.
Right. All right, what else can we? Let's talk about some gun stuff.
Sure.
What do you have? So sometimes I'm thinking of telling people that we're in the safest car in the Commonwealth.
Absolutely.
When I go to New Jersey and interview people, not so much. I got some pepper spray down there, but not more than 3/4 of an ounce.
Yeah.
And it falls out of my tray. I do have my high cap magazine here, and some shotgun ammo and a handgun ammo, and a few knives.
I got my Glock 43 today and pocket
Nice.
knife.
Cool.
In these hands.
Lethal force, baby. These are registered in 48 contiguous states.
What's your favorite gun?
My favorite gun of all time is the Smith & Wesson Model 19.
Nice.
It's 6-inch barrel, blue, big wood grips, looks very dirty hairy. That is the gun. That's the first gun that I bought. I inherited a few guns. Mm-hmm. It's the first one I bought, and I spent a lot of time dry firing it. Mm-hmm. Cool. And I like dry firing. I like dry firing double action revolvers because it's a heavy trigger squeeze, and if you have a good trigger squeeze with a revolver, then everything else will be a breeze.
Well, that's called the Massachusetts trigger pull now, right? 10.5 pounds.
It is. But I'm like dry firing a Glock. I'm like, okay, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
I should work more on one-handed reloading and all that other stuff, because the trigger squeeze is nothing for everything else. But I carry a 637 J-frame, 2 speed strips, and usually 3 knives.
I'm not a revolver guy. I own one because I have to teach with it.
Yeah.
So I obviously have to know how to use it.
What do you have?
I have a very old first generation Colt Detective Special Snubby.
Wow.
It's my wife's grandfather's gun.
I was gonna say.
Yep.
That's either expensive or in the family.
Both. I've had people offer me money that I never thought I'd see offered for a wheel gun. But yeah, it's the first gen, so I guess they hold their value, and things pristine. He just had it for a backup.
Well, that's cool. I bought a 5-shot hammerless J-frame. I think it was a 340 PD. It's an $850 gun, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not spending, like, in my mind, I'm not spending $850 on a 5-shot revolver.
Yeah.
So I found a guy.
Doesn't do dishes, right?
No. So I bought this. I found it. I found one on Northeast Shooters, and a guy was selling it for, I don't know, $550, and then he got 5/4 and 5, and I'm like, $500 is my limit, and I'm like, then I saw he asked for $475.
There you go.
And I'm like, all right, if he asks for $475, he'll take $450 in cash.
Oh yeah.
So send him a message. $450, you got it. Let's meet. I get $450 today. This is how I learned this from a financial guy. Especially when you buy things, private sales, which we can still do, which you're trying to get rid of.
Legal all day.
All day. Only 4 times.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
In here in occupied territory.
Yeah.
But I like to go with large bills and pretend it's a game show. 100, 200, because the person just puts their hand down and starts drooling. So that's my scope, man. What else? What else can we talk about? If you, what would you be doing for fun if you weren't doing your channel?
Spending more time with the kids.
Yeah. You just took a week vacation.
Yeah, I took a week vacation so I could be with the kids and catch up on some videos. The wife's not going to watch this, I hope so.
Nah,
but yeah, no.
She's your wife. You're no big deal to her.
I finally, you can say that again. Every other week on payday. I was doing a build from Optics Planet where they sponsored a build. I'm being a cop, I can still buy lowers in Massachusetts.
Nice.
I know everybody doesn't like it, but I built a backup gun for my turnout gear.
Cool.
The chief gave me the okay, so I bought a lower, and Optics Planet, in combination with the channel, we built an AR pistol. Just finished the build yesterday, editing. It's probably going to be a couple days in editing, but that should be up on the channel soon.
Cool. Well, I'll make sure I get a link and put it in here. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's nice, black and tan. It's kind of
that's
sexy.
what yeah, I did see that. That is
not your typical all black police roll out of the car. It's got a little bit of flash.
right. That is way cool. Way cool.
That and so when I was out at SHOT Show.
Yeah, let's talk about SHOT Show.
I got
SHOT Show's
to see,
fun.
yeah, SHOT Show's great. It's the first time I've ever gone. I was lucky enough to be asked to go, and which is different. I mean, I never thought that the channel would get to anywhere where people would actually want me to be in different parts of the country, but
It's awesome.
I got to go out there, and I was talking with the SIG guys, and they had this, I don't know if you've seen it, it's a We the People 1911. I put it up on all my social media.
I did see that.
I'm not a 1911 guy. I just don't like it because I've never shot one that didn't have some type of hiccup or something.
Oh man.
But this gun is so pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't use the word pretty with a gun, but it is sexy. It says me on it. It's got the stars on it for the 13 original colonies. It says We the People on it. The grips are aluminum with 50 stars, 25 on each side. It's about
Wow.
as Patriot can get.
Aluminum grips has got to suck.
Yeah, well, it doesn't feel like it's going to rip your hand up. And the guys from SIG assure me that it won't, so. But yeah, I'm actually in a spot where I'm going to pick one up Friday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Look forward to seeing a video on that.
I can't wait.
I'm one of these guys that when I became a gun guy, and like I think everyone's got something. Like everyone has one until I buy one. You know, like I didn't have a Glock, and I'm like, I have to get a Glock, and then I got a Glock. I'm like, oh, everyone's got a Glock, and I felt the same way about the AR.
Yep.
I felt the same way about the 1911, and I'm like, I had one really good month as an instructor a few years ago, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy myself a 1911, and I bought myself a 1911, and then later that month I bought myself a transmission with the rest of the money.
There you go.
Like that's not what I wanted to spend it on.
What kind did you get?
I got a Ruger, the Ruger 1911. I don't think they call it anything special.
It's the boat anchor one, the heavy one.
Yeah, it's big. I wanted to get I like the look of the. This is a Massachusetts driver right here.
That's Worcester all day.
Holy crap! Taking a center lane left turn.
It's my city.
I wanted to get I like the commander size,
Yeah, that's nice.
but I'm like, all right, it's the first one I'm buying. I gotta get a full size. Just buck up.
Have you seen the ones that Jesse James makes?
No.
So Jesse moved from motorcycles to custom guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And he made one for President Trump that is amazing. And through that, actually saw his. He makes ammo saw his ammo at SHOT Show.
Cool.
And check out his website. We can't afford it, but he makes some beautiful stuff.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I'll have to dig up a picture. This is what I think is pretty cool about learning about video. Like, I don't have any. I'm sure, just like with you, everything that I've learned about making videos, I've learned from making videos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no class.
There's no cinematography school, but I've learned that I can take the I can get a picture of the SIG 1911.
Yep.
Put it in the video. Put it right there when we're talking about it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned the hard way sometimes of don't use flashy transitions because people get angry.
Right.
Don't get long-winded because people get angry. Get right to. That's why most of my videos are like 3 to 5 minutes at sweet spot.
Yeah.
Try to give them the information they need or they want to know, and then jump out. Pull the pin because anything longer than that, they're done with you.
Right. We do have a short attention span. All right.
Get off the phone, lady.
I know, right? Dude, come on.
That is illegal now. Get off the phone.
All right, so while we're here...
At the registry of all places.
Right. So this is something I'm going to rant about. Totally not gun related. This is something that... you've got to know because you're a cop, or I assume you ought to know. turning left onto a main road, when people stop, it frustrates the hell out of me. Even if they're stopping to let me out, they will stop. The oncoming traffic will, they'll stop the traffic and wait for me to come through.
Yep.
But there's still traffic coming from the right.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not stupid enough to get myself into an accident. This is ridiculous. Then what's even stupider is when the traffic from the right stops. And I'm like, you guys are both idiots. I still give them a wave, but I'm like, yeah, hi, thank you, you asshole. Yeah. Right?
Well, you know, if you pull out in an intersection because somebody waved you on, you're still responsible if you get into a crash.
Right. This is where, if I get into a crash, I would like to get out and possibly choke the person.
Yeah, and they're all driving away laughing at you, too.
Right. So we're in Massachusetts. You're a Mass guy. This is Massachusetts politics. Their driving is their politics, because they will stop and be nice to you. Oh, here we go. Now she's making a left-hand turn. Holy crap.
This is awesome.
This is Massachusetts politics. They will stop traffic behind them to let you out. Right. So you feel good, but they're being jerks to everyone behind them. And I try to explain this to people, and they're like, no, they're just being nice. They're trying to keep traffic going. They're not trying to keep traffic going.
Be nice to their voter.
Right. Right. All right, I'm done. I'm not done. It pisses me off beyond belief. It really does.
So what are your goals for YouTube as a fellow YouTuber?
God. My goals for YouTube?
Do you ever think we'd call ourselves YouTubers?
I never did, and I'm still uncomfortable calling myself a YouTuber. I'm just a guy that has a YouTube channel. I will say this. So my day job, I don't tell my day job what I do. I'm a band teacher at a bunch of Catholic schools. I work for a private company. I have had some kids discover my YouTube channel. In September of 2000, it was October, October of 2016 was when I had a video. Get 1 million views, right? And it ended up number 27 trending video on YouTube.
That's awesome.
I had the kids come into school one day, and they're like, "Hey, Mr. Cook, we saw your YouTube channel."
Is it the Christmas one?
No, this was Mario.
Okay.
Like, "Hey, Mr. Cook, we saw your YouTube video." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "We saw you. You were playing the trumpet, shooting a gun." I'm like, "That sounds dangerous. Why would someone do that? That seems a little crazy. I don't know." "No, it was definitely you." I'm like,
"All right, class is over."
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I did an early retirement type deal and worked in the private sector for two years, and
yeah,
I won't say the company because they saw a video I did. It was kind of a pointed opinion piece, and they came out and they asked me to take it down, and I was like, no, it's freedom of speech and it's the Second Amendment. That's what I'm about as constitution as it gets.
Yeah.
So it caused an issue, but yeah, I don't go out there and tell people.
Right.
I mean, if I get recognized, I get recognized. My current place, there's subscribers, so
that's cool.
In good hands.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I never thought I'd say I'm a YouTuber. It still feels weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
And like I said, there's a couple schools I go to. Kids have seen them and watched them, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
like
I used to be like, I don't know, nervous about repercussions if this person knows I'm on YouTube, like if the judge knows I'm a YouTuber, and then could impact this case, but I just don't care anymore. It's freedom of speech.
It is.
If that person on the corner can sit there and say, Trump's terrible, and this one can say guns are bad, I can say guns are good.
Bam. How many YouTube channels do you have?
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah, just
okay.
one.
Okay.
That's enough.
Never mind.
I actually was thinking about doing a second thing.
Yeah.
But it's too late in the game,
Right.
Everything's already, people know what my channel is, and that's what they expect whenever a new video comes out, so I think to separate it or to try to do something different. I was even thinking about a name change last year, because, Guns and Gadgets doesn't make you think Second Amendment News, and that's where I came up with the slogan, the tagline.
Yeah.
And then I changed, I was trying to help the channel grow by, buying a Facebook ad for $5.
Oh my God.
But they wouldn't let me do it because the logo, it says guns, and the logo was an AR. So that's when I rebranded the logo to make it more patriotic, and it's the words now. And
that's cool.
But it still can't do it.
I got tagged on a couple of yard sale pages. I even like, instead of putting up gun porn, I put the little logo of the stick guy, the bathroom sign guy, holding a gun. It says gun, points to the gun, and safety points to the brain. No, they won't do that one either. I hate giving Facebook money.
I haven't had the opportunity. I hear they can help, if you do it the right way and put it in the right groups and focus groups. But
right, I've never had any luck with it, so
I can't pay them to take my money.
Yeah, I know, and that's just as well.
But that's a victory.
It is.
If the tyrants don't want me, then I'm doing something right.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, we're going to wrap things up. How can people find you and all of your stuff?
So primarily Guns and Gadgets on YouTube,
Yeah.
But I also post a couple different platforms because YouTube is again on its third or fourth iteration of an attack on gun channels. So I also post obviously Patreon if you want to help support the channel.
Yeah.
I am viewer supported on Patreon. You can also find my stuff on Gunstreamer and YouTube, which are Pro 2A platforms.
Very cool.
And like everybody else, I have a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all that craziness.
Very cool, very cool. We'll put links to all that stuff so people can find you and check you out. And I gotta remember how to get to where we're going. I know how to get where we're going, like 12 ways.
Yeah, bear left up there. You can go through Auburn.
Bear left. Oh, I know we did not go through Kelley Square. We missed that. He said I'm playing that out very well. All right, so check out Jared at Guns and Gadgets. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got all the other cool stuff that he just talked about. We're going to put some links on there. We're going to finish this drive because we are almost back to where we need to be and get Jared off to where he needs to go. Dude, thank you so much for being on the channel.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
You need to check out the Riding Shotgun. Like and share and subscribe to the Riding Shotgun with YouTube. The YouTube channel is where you're watching this. If you're listening to it, you can listen to it on iTunes. You can listen to it on Google Play Music. You can listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it on iHeartRadio. And you need to check out the Self-Defense Radio Network at, I think it's sdrn.us. I think it's the new website. It is all of your pro-freedom podcasts in one place. And we will see you guys next time on Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Again, thanks a lot, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Take care, guys.